hope you are doing well. Welcome to Leader for a Tuesday, June 23rd. I'm your host, Geo Ropert from Ropert and Partners Public Relations, and we are so glad to have you here. As you know, if you've been watching the shows before, Leader is brought to you by LEAD Brevard, Brevard County's Leadership Development and Leadership Deployment Organization. And when we talk about something like that, we're really talking about putting together the best of the best who are here to help our community grow. Not only are they just whizzes at what they do in their jobs and their careers, but these are folks who really stand out and step up in our community. And what we did was we basically put together an opportunity for our community leaders to share some insights during this time. You know, a lot of us are still doing work from home, or we've drastically changed our approaches to doing business. And so getting insights from leaders and how they're adapting and how they're working and giving some of their lessons learned has been just truly phenomenal. We do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12:15 p.m. on the LEAD Brevard Facebook page. It's live today, but as most people know, you can watch those replays anytime you would like, and we hope that you will. We've had some great response. No shortage of folks that want to join us. And so that's been great, because that was the first thing we thought about. Well, what if nobody wants to be on? And so after we got the first few in the can, people were like, yeah, this is really cool. I like this. I want to do this. And so I've been honored. And as I said, this is time for Geo to talk with his friends, because so many of the people that I've had on the show are great friends of mine who I've come to know in our community. And because of the opportunities I was afforded at LEAD Brevard and through my work and the things that I do, really a great chance to get to know these people, to see the incredible things that they do each and every day to make Brevard a better place to live, work, and play. And today, I'm telling you what, when I saw our guest today, I said, oh, this is going to be great, because again, such a great friend, somebody that I truly admire, who has been in our community, and really somebody that if you do not know our guest today, you don't know Brevard County. And so I would like to welcome today Kim Agee. She is here. What a great honor to have you. Thanks, Kim, for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Oh, me too. I really did. You know, it's one of those when I even last week, you know, and I knew you were coming on for this to kick off this week. I was like, oh, this is going to be great, because, you know, we always have a good time when we're talking to each other, and we share a lot of common interests in what's going on in our community. For those of you who don't know Kim, I'll give you a little background on her, because she really is a truly phenomenal person. She is a 2004 Leadership Brevard graduate. Go ahead and say it.
Best class ever.
Absolutely. She currently is the executive director of Melbourne Main Street. She also owns Agee Consulting, where she works with small businesses and some good-sized clients such as BRPH and Port Canaveral. She's got such a wealth of knowledge about the business community and how business works here in Brevard County and around, because she was also the director of the EDC Florida Space Coast. She was kind of Linda Weatherman's number 2. Is that correct? Can I put it that way?
For 16 years, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there was something going on in Brevard County business-wise, Kim knew about it. She was also the director of community relations at Health First and the director of external affairs. So again, just a broad breadth of experience that she has brought now to Melbourne Main Street, and everybody knows Melbourne and downtown Melbourne, and what an incredible growth it's had over the last few years. And now Kim has really taken that, and what an opportune time, Kim, with the new hotels that are going in, with the new the apartments that are coming on board. I mean, you've kind of walked into like, here you go, have at it, huh?
Yeah, it's an exciting time downtown.
Oh, it is wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your experience. I mean, I kind of highlighted some things, but talk about I guess you are a Brevard County native.
I am. I was born at Holmes Regional Medical Center. Grew up in Melbourne, and have lived here my entire life. My family has pretty big investments in downtown Melbourne, and so kind of coming back to this and being able to help is a pretty incredible feeling. It's kind of where I grew up, where I was raised, where I had my first job. And I feel like it's my time to kind of give back. I also feel like my experience, it's kind of all being brought into this one moment. I've had a lot of different experience with larger corporations and really small nonprofits. I mean, when I started at the EDC in 1993, we had about $150,000 budget. And when I left, I think it was about 1.6 million. And, you know, we had about 10 staffers. And I love to grow things. And I love to have a lot of passion about what I'm doing. And downtown is something that I'm really, really passionate about. And it's a really incredible time to be downtown. There's so much happening. It's a transformational time. And I'm really honored to have accepted this job and started in February.
That's great. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities and the challenges that you're seeing, because you're in a very unique atmosphere with the small businesses and the things that are happening today. But I know you don't like to talk about yourself. So guess who gets to? That's me, because I also have a few things that Kim is got some. I mean, you've got a lot of things behind you, but Kim was also Space Coast Business Magazine's 100 most powerful people in Brevard back 2010, and then she maintains, I think she maintains that number, and one of the most influential business leaders in Brevard in 2008. She was the National Management Association Brevard County chapter. They named her Manager of the Year in 2009. And in 2005, I remember this because I was back at LEAD Brevard working there actually at the time. She received Brevard's first Emerging Leader Award, the 4 Under 40, which has grown, if you know, to be an incredible, very prestigious award for the young up and coming professionals in our community. She is the immediate past chair of the Melbourne Regional Chamber. She's a member of CivMill. She's previously on the board of We Venture and Business Voice, and also Junior League of South Brevard. So yes, no shortage. And I always say this, Kim, that when I start talking about this, it's like, I got to do more.
Yeah, you do a lot, Geo. It's okay.
I always feel like, oh my gosh, what is everybody? I got to get some more things going on, but no. And again, that's really, you know, a testament to who you are and what you've done for our community, and always stepping out and being a leader. Share with me, if you will, Kim, what are some of the traits that make you the leader that you are?
Well, I think first of all, this is a really interesting question. It makes you kind of really think about it, right? I mean, I just kind of get up and go every day, but I think number one is I'm a collaborator to the core. This COVID thing has really affected me because I like to be in a room. I like to be in a room of 100 people talking about what's happening in our community and what are the challenges and how can we move things forward. So I think collaboration is probably one of my greatest strengths. I'm an activator too. I like to see things happen, and I'll push until something changes or something gets better. And I'm a fixer. So I like to fix things. I like to improve things. And I kind of like to bring all those together. I love working in teams that have varying degrees of opinions. I like other people's opinions. I think I was only born with one perspective, right? And you want to get new perspectives every day. And I'm pretty secure in the way that I think about things, but I love to be open and listen to what other people have to say. And I like building my teams with people that are very different than me, because I think it gets us to a better solution and a better outcome.
That's great. And that's an awesome perspective. It really is, because it's, you know, the diversity of what makes you who you are. And I think those things have served you well, because you have had to always deal with a very diverse perspective of the community, and from various sizes of business to various cultural aspects of our community and all those things. And so you've really been able to take that. Let me ask you this: when you were back in Leadership Brevard, and it's the question I ask everybody, how do you feel that shaped you? What did you bring and what did you walk away with once that program was finished?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first of all, on my very first class, and I know the class has changed kind of considerably since, you know, the way back time when I took it, but they said, what do you really want to happen this year? And I said, I want to be pregnant and have a baby. And I had my baby a week before graduation. So I was pregnant like the entire time. So SimSoc, for all of you LEAD Brevard graduates, was a real good time because I was in that, I can't remember the color or whatever it was, but it was not a great place to be. We'll just say that. And I learned right then and there that those people that I was in the class with were pretty extraordinary people. They knew that when someone found out that I was in that room, they were bringing us all kinds of things. And you saw the humanity and the friendship and just leadership. Honestly, they were taking care of me. And it was really great. And the people that I was in the room with were super happy to have me in there because they really benefited from it. So, but it was really neat to experience that, and just the bonding that occurred during that. I mean, a lot of those people are still my friends and my colleagues. And, I get into different situations, whether it be on board service or a job or having a client, and I might have to call on someone and they're in different positions than they were there, but there's still somebody that I know and I can say, hey, remember me from LEAD Brevard? And they're like, absolutely. And just instantly, we're all willing to help each other. And I think that is probably one of the greatest things that's come out of it. I also think the the 4 under 40 has been a remarkable experience for me, even since when I was awarded it, when it first started. It's kind of neat. We're like a little family. And as soon as you are inducted that night and you receive that award, we embrace you. We all do our best to come and be with you and take pictures with you and just immediately kind of walk you into that family. And I think it's really something special that LEAD Brevard has done extremely well. And they do a great job of keeping us together and keeping leadership in the forefront of what we're thinking about.
Yeah, I remember that event and putting it together and getting it ready for the first time. And it was, back then we were working on the young professional movement here, where we were really concerned about, are we going to have the talent and treasure that we need for the things that were going on? And that was a kind of a concerning time for us, because a lot of folks, especially the young professionals, they were leaving. They were not being attracted here. And I think over the years, and I know the EDCs and the chambers have done a great job of really putting an emphasis now on attracting those young professionals and bringing them into the community for all the things that are going on in the space and defense and healthcare and technology sectors that we've got going on. So yeah, that was a pretty special night. And I remember you and I think Bino Campanini and a couple other folks that were part of that. Yeah, that's right.
It was kind of crazy because there was no one that had ever gotten it before. And when they called my name, I was like, oh no, I'm going to be the first one. Like, what am I going to do? But it was a great night. I was pretty blown away.
Yeah, it was. And you carry that with you. It's something that, it shows that even at a younger age, you were still, you were a voice and you were somebody that was really recognized for what you were able to accomplish and what you were bringing to Brevard County. And I'm so glad you've stuck around ever since. Kim, do you have a particular, either in the past or recent, a leadership issue, somewhere where you really had to put your leadership skills to the test that you could share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously what's happening, I accepted the job on February 1st and really started to get to work. And then COVID came like 45 days later. So that's been an interesting opportunity to try to get to know everybody downtown. But I think one of the greatest accomplishments that I've had in terms of leadership and of a challenge, but also of a great outcome is my work at the Melbourne Regional Chamber. When I was the chair-elect, the incoming chair-elect under Brent Peoples as the chair, we had a real crisis in that organization. We had some leadership that took us in the wrong direction. They were having sort of a mass exodus in terms of members, and people were just being disenfranchised. And we have spent several years now, probably the last 3 years, really doubling down, figuring out what the value is of the organization, making sure people understand that, finding a new leader in Michael Ayers, bringing him on board. All of those things were very challenging, and also just listening to people's concerns and really just making the organization what it should be and what it has been for the last 95 years, and not letting a single force kind of derail that. And so I'm pretty proud about that. I formed some really deep and incredible relationships. They say when you go to battle with somebody, you're there with them, forever. You know what they're made of, and there was a group of us that did that. And I'm just super honored to have served in that capacity. But it was so rewarding and challenging at the same time.
That's excellent. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing that. It's any advice for folks as they are, especially leaders who are adapting? We talked about whether you were going to work out of your office today or do it from home. I mean, a lot of people are kind of having to do a little of both. And how are you adapting? Because, it's usually you're kind of like that face right there in front of everybody. And I'm sure you've had to adapt a little bit as far as, not being able to just be out there. Like you said, you love to be out there with everybody.
I do. I miss the handshaking and the hugs and the conversations before the big meetings and events. Like I've told everybody, I need a 500-person room really quick. Like sometimes this has to happen for me pretty soon to keep me whole as a person. But I think more than anything, it's about being nimble. And I think my small business, my consulting business really helped me sort of hone those skills. And working for nonprofits, I mean, when you're building something from the ground up, you have to be nimble, and you have to collaborate. You have to listen a lot. You have to just really reach out to people and find out what everybody's thinking, and then sort of sift through that yourself. But I think just keeping a positive attitude and always looking forward. I'm not one to worry about today. I'm more worried about next week and next year. I'm kind of a planner at heart, and I like to drive forward. And I feel like today's just a moment in time, and we're all going to be okay. And just keeping that positive attitude and just keep developing things that you can look forward to is really, really important.
That's awesome. Nimble. I haven't heard that yet. I love that. I mean, it really is. You've just got to be able to, at a moment's notice, be able to just change and do that. Pivot was one I've heard a lot of, but nimble, I like that one.
Yeah. Nimble's the new pivot.
There you go. I like it because I think we were wearing pivot out. So
yeah,
nimble
I agree.
That'll be the fake tattoo that I get on my arm for the next couple of months. So, oh man, Kim, it has been truly an honor to have you today, and thank you for being such a dear friend and for being on with us today. I think you had a lot of great insights. Your service to the community, your history here, the work you've done has truly, you've made a big impact on Brevard County. And I don't know whether you know that or not, but your work and the things that you've done and been a part of are part of the reason I think that we're here where we are today and so successful. So on behalf of Brevard County, thank you for everything that you've done for us.
Thank you so much, Geo, for having me today. It's been great.
Right. Hey, have definitely enjoyed it. We will catch up. I always do. And I always give folks a call afterwards. So make sure you answer your phone.
Okay.
Once we hit end on this, then it's over with and we can't really continue a conversation. But thanks again to Kim Agee for joining me today. It's been great to have her. She is the executive director of Melbourne Main Street. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Lisa Rice. You may remember her from Career Source Brevard, but she is now the CEO of Every Strength Counts. And we're going to have her on the show tomorrow. And then coming up on Thursday, Kendall Moore, and again, I hate to say it, another great friend, and both Lisa and Kendall. But Kendall Moore of the Moore Law Group, Kendall, he's run for county commission. He is, if there's an important discussion going on in Brevard County, Kendall is part of it. So we've got a great guest to round out the week, and hope you'll join us again for that. Remember, Leader to Leader happens every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right here on the LEAD Brevard Facebook page at 12:15 p.m. We hope you can join us live. If not, you can always catch the replay. A lot of people do. We're getting hundreds and hundreds of folks to watch these throughout the week. And hey, if you'd like a little exposure for your business, well, a lot of exposure for your business, why don't you be a sponsor of Leader to Leader? Got a great special program out there. We'll help you promote your business. We'll bring you on as a guest. You'll have a lot of face time and you'll get a lot of exposure to the community. You can find out more about that. And also you can find out more about the Leadership Brevard program. They are registering for the class of 2021, the next best class. And all of that information can be found at leadbrevard.org, or you can call Kristen Bakke and her team at LEAD Brevard at 321-632-8222. My little plug, I am Geo Ropert from Ropert and Partners Public Relations and Marketing Communications. If your business needs to ramp up and amp up its brand visibility, reputation, and recognition, if you need help communicating with your audiences, especially during this time when you've really had to be nimble and talk to folks in a different way. You've had to tell maybe a little bit of a different story and how you're operating, what you're doing with all the things that are going on now. How are you handling the social justice situations? How are you working both internally and externally to tell a great story to your audiences? You need help with that? We're the team to call. Ropert and Partners. You can find us at Ropert, the word, and partners.com. We're here to help you. If you need a little bit of insight into what we do, you can pick up our free coronavirus crisis communication guide. It's free. Just go to our homepage. And I'm also doing complimentary calls with any business or organization that would like to help maybe get some insights on how to best communicate with their audiences. So LEAD Brevard, Ropert and Partners, we've teamed up together. I'm having a great time doing this. I hope you've had a great time joining us today with our guest, Kim Agee. And again, Kim, thank you so much for being here today. I hope to see you around. We've got to have an event somewhere, sometime, hopefully soon, because we all do. We all need a handshake and a hug and just to see each other face to face. So you take care. And again, thank you everyone for joining us. You've been watching Leader to Leader, brought to you by LEAD Brevard.
Bye.